You may think that the mental trauma of seeing thousands of people die due to a lack of oxygen in India's second wave of COVID would end soon. But then came final year of MBBS, the most toughest and dreadful year in a medico's life. But it wasn't any ordinary final year. It wasn't 9 subjects in 9 months. It was 9 subjects in just 5 months. Due to the lost time in the second wave of COVID, my final year was of only 5 months. This is the story of the quickest and the darkest final year in MBBS history. 2 years of sitting at home had rusted my brains. I was unable to take a simple history and examination of the patient. I remember on the first day of the stressful and hectic medicine posting, जहाँ पे मेरी consultant के सामने फट गई थी because I could not even demonstrate and tell him a simple fever history. The story spread among my batchmates like a wildfire, and that time I did not believe that I had enough time to finish medicine, surgery, pediatrics and obstetrics and gynecology in just 5 months. I realized I had to cut down my gym time, my chess time, my social media time and my party time and give complete concentration to the grind of final year of MBBS in just 5 months. You may have the strongest work ethic in the entire world, like The Rock, like Tanmay Bhatt, like Ranveer Alabadia, but if you don't know what you are going to study, it is all going to be a miserable waste. I had to know what I should study in the final year of MBBS to get good marks in my professional exams. Thankfully, our seniors had made a comprehensive short note list of all the previous 15-year questions that had come in the papers. So I grabbed hold of that. And after that, I made a proper plan. Which topics were the most frequently asked? Which topics I could leave and maybe not pay so much attention 1 day or 2 days before the exam and just rely on my memory and my common sense to attempt those questions. After getting to know all the topics, and this can vary from my college to your college, so definitely consult your seniors. Then came the next big question. From the thousands of books available in the market, which is the book I pick which is student friendly, exam oriented and will quickly help me revise 1 day before the exam? Is it going to be Harrison? Is it going to be Davidson? Or is it going to be George Matthew? I had to make the decision very quick, and this is a very important part of the video that I am going to share. For medicine theory, I used this medicine undergraduate textbook by Dr. Archit Balur, who is a bit of a legend in himself. This book came out in 2017 as a lifesaver for medicos throughout the entire country. This textbook has concepts, it has diagrams, charts, flowcharts, everything that will be required to reproduce in the exam. And I absolutely loved reading this textbook because it is written in a very crisp, clean and easy to understand language. So medicine practicals is the place where they usually tend to fail people. So I knew I had to be perfect in this. So I used these 2 textbooks. Kundu, which has the short cases like hemiplegia, paraplegia, anemia, cyanosis that are exam oriented, and most of the questions that the examiners asked me personally in the exam came from this very book Kundu because it is extremely exam oriented and practical oriented. The next book is Alagappan. All the things that you not find in Kundu, the basics about pulse, BP, about history taking, about symptomatology, Alagappan, trust me, is going to be your next best friend in final year of MBBS. For surgery, I'll keep it simple. You have one standard textbook and that is SRB. I loved reading SRB because it had so many concepts, the latest information and so many images. And if you're a visual learner, you will appreciate textbooks like SRB. They actually tried to bring the photos that are taken in the surgery and put it into a textbooks. Proper diagrams that explain the short note in the very easy to remember format. And they were highlighted keywords, key concepts, given tables, drawn diagrams, and so much of information condensed into one single paragraph in SRB. And when the textbook is so colorful, so attractive and so student oriented, you will never feel like dropping a textbook like SRB. I feel you should never go by the size of the textbook. For example, SRB is way thicker than a Manipal, that is the standard textbook used by all Indian medicos. But SRB is the textbook where I felt an extremely strong connect. It was like a storybook. I felt like reading it on and on, keep on marking with my pen, and I think that is the major hurdle. We don't start reading a textbook. there is a certain amount of inertia. And in surgery, where you have to imagine so many things, so many anatomical structures, and a lot of times because you don't go to the OT and we don't see each and every single procedure being done, we do not see the pathophysiology and the pathology, it can get a lot of stressful theoretical. So you need a textbook that will tell you the information in a story format that is attractive, that appeals to you. And in SRB, at the bottom of every single page, there is a motivational quote. Whenever I read 2-3 pages and I felt tired, I felt like taking a break, I felt like giving up, it was these small motivational quotes below SRB that kept me going. So SRB for theory. For practicals, there is one OG book, and that is the Das Practical Manual of Surgery, and this is the textbook that I have not found a replacement for because it's been there for so many years. All our seniors are reading it, and this is what they exactly expect in the exam. So blindly go and buy Das. In Obs and Gynae, a subject I absolutely hated before coming to final year of MBBS, what saved me in obstetrics and gynecology, and I had to study this in exactly 1 month, were Dr. Sakshi Arora's beautiful explanations in the Marrow app. So I had no clue about obstetrics and gynecology. I just thought it was a very tough subject to learn. But her explanations, especially the introduction videos in Marrow that tells you about the anatomy, the conceptual way that she taught anatomy by drawing all of those beautiful diagrams and coming down to our level, to our undergraduate stupid minds, and explaining to us obstetrics and gynecology, taking us from level 0 right up till her level of knowledge. I don't think I have found any replacement for Obs and Gynae. So whatever concepts I had to gather, I got it from Marrow. Even the notes, the flowcharts, the diagrams, because in obstetrics and gynecology, there are a lot of protocols to be followed, especially in the case of emergencies. So those protocols, updated protocols, are given by Dr. Sakshi Arora. And from Datta, which is the standard textbook for all Indian medicos, I just took the important points from the exam-oriented point of view, and I just put them into my Marrow notes. So one day before the exam, I had very set notes of Marrow and Datta for obstetrics and gynecology, and I think studying that subject became such a huge relief, especially when I had only 1 month to prepare for that. So a combination of Marrow and Datta is what I did for obstetrics and gynecology. So the pediatrics department in my college is extremely student friendly and academically oriented, which means they were taking lectures with the utmost of interest of teaching us the right thing in pediatrics. So that meant I had taken my own class notes, and in my class notes I used to leave separate lines, blank lines, so that later on I could come and I could add additional information from what I saw in clinics, from OP Guy and other sources. You can also use DK notes that are tried and tested. You can find it online, or you can see it from your seniors, and that is where the power of using multiple sources come in. In DK notes, you can study the miscellaneous things like ticks, like pica, like thumb sucking, and all of these things which they usually don't emphasize on in college, but it definitely appears in the university exam paper, and it can give you those additional 2-3 marks that help you in getting the distinction or even help you in passing. For practicals, I read this wonderful book called Chedda. It is all the cases that you need, from nephrotic syndrome to thalassemia to Down syndrome. It has the practical aspects as well as the theory. So apart from all of these 3 textbooks, that is your OP Guide, DK Notes and Chedda, pediatrics is a flying color, and you will enjoy pediatrics. You will enjoy going to the wards, you will enjoy auscultating the kids, you will enjoy talking to the relatives. So now I fell into this insane vicious circle. Because I had to study so much of portion in such a limited amount of time, I had to study late up till night. And because of that, I used to consume insane like 3-4 cups of coffee every single evening, which automatically meant no sleep at night, early morning drowsiness. So the 8 AM lectures were an absolute torture for me. After that, go to clinics, stand there for 3 hours, run around to find the teacher and beg them to come and take our classes, because we had to cover history, we had to cover examination, and we had to cover them right to be able to answer the final practical examinations. After that, take our own bed ka history and examination, go to some other colleague's bed, auscultate their patient because he had suddenly found a murmur that you could not pick up the day before. So there's so many things that go on during clinics that by the time lunchtime comes, मैं already थक चुका हूँ. And after that, they used to keep tutorials, like demonstrations, and some of the lectures. So by the time you come at 5 o'clock, you're already tired. And because you're tired, you consume more amount of coffee because you have to study again till late evening. So you understand this vicious circle that I had fallen into. In life, we all have issues to deal with, but in final year of MBBS, it is time to streamline our focus into mastering two things: history and examination, because that is exactly what defines a doctor, a doctor's skill, a doctor's confidence, and it will give you the confidence to talk to patients during an internship and reach to a probable diagnosis. Let me tell you that the situation is never perfect in your life to start working hard. When I was in my final year of MBBS and I had to study so much of the huge syllabus in a small amount of time, I used to get so much jealous when I used to see people on Instagram live their lavish, wonderful lives. But I knew that one day my time will also come. Actually, that time is right now. During my present community postings, that I make friendship bonds, that I visit exciting places, that I talk to patients, and I question my seniors, and we all live such a harmonious life in this community medicine posting. And I'm glad that immediately after my final year, I had this very relaxed posting of community medicine. I'm here to tell you that finally, when you get the report card at the end of your final year of MBBS, and when you see the fruits of your hard work in terms of good marks, you will develop self-confidence, self-belief, and you will truly appreciate yourself for putting yourself through this enormous amount of syllabus and coming out victorious. If you like to see the life after MBBS, the life of an intern, I've already made a very interesting vlog about community health medicine posting, which you can find right over here. And thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.